So, what'd you guys think of last week's race? What's your thoughts?
Uh, 250s are a snooze fest, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, and forgive me for saying this, but they're trying to build up these other racers. They're like like Ryder D. Francisco. They keep saying, this is his year. He's doing this. He's doing that. And look at him go. And the dude keeps finishing. Seems like in the same spot. I don't really see him doing anything. Um, 250s. I mean, it's a runaway. It's a bore. I mean, it's racing, so I still appreciate it, and they're all good. But it's just kind of a bore. But the 450s, man, I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, Tomac wads it up. Sexton, I don't know what he's doing on the gate. Is if he's falling asleep or, I mean, I was sitting there because I focus on him because I'm a fan of his, and the gate drops and everybody takes. I'm like, go, you got to go, hit it, go, and he's getting like terrible starts. It's like, why? I don't know.
I mean, that's a really good point, and I think in a way it just all I kind of take away from it, or one thing I take away from it, is then when you look at maybe even Hunter more than Jet, but definitely Hunter and Prada, like how valuable that is, and how do you get to that point, and when you can, again, maybe equate it to other sports, like how the greats, whether it's golf or I don't know how to golf, but they're so consistent.
Right.
And there must be something in their routine that they.
But I guess the thing that I am questioning is it's like those guys are getting a half a bike to a full bike length before they're even 10 feet off the gate. And it's like these are the best guys in the world. They should all be pretty close. I mean, how are your reaction time that bad?
I do have a little bit of a theory on that. So back in the day when we had long starts, dug deep with limited horsepower bikes, I would hole shot 9 out of 10 times because I weighed 128 pounds. That all has switched for a while, but I almost wonder with these greats, you think about it, you're locked in to that grate, and you take a hunter that probably weighs 140 pounds. Like I just got done saying how consistent he is, so that's awesome. But how much of that is just that it's just a physics problem?
True.
It's just horsepower and weight, and Chase outweighs those. He's probably close to the heaviest guy on the track.
Yeah, all muscle.
He's a big guy. Yeah, true.
Yeah, because that kind of goes to the thing that I was talking about not too long ago about some people saying, well, you can't use all the power that a 450 has. Well, you might not be able to, but on the whole shot, you sure do.
Yep.
And
Yep.
You see it there. I mean, if the dirt's loamy enough and there's an uphill or whatever, you can see where the lighter rider is pulling away. That extra weight, you wish you had more.
Yeah, it's like Aaron said, physics. It's got to be.
Yeah.
We figured it out. That's it.
There it is. Done.
Sexton. He needs to make some mass.
We're done.
All right, we got to get him on some Ozempic.
You're talking about long starts. Well, I watched the Supercross race and then Tomac going down, and that's exactly why I like long, big outdoor motocross starts right there.
Separate a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, because right there, everybody's got to be right where they were. Nothing Tomac could do. I mean, that's just there was no getting out of that one. That's just gonna happen when
bad luck. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, but you know, the beauty of this is we get to see how good he really is. That's what this is all about.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
True.
I thought, he was in 22nd and way back. Like he wasn't just in 22nd. It took him a while to get to 21st.
28 seconds, I think
was it?
I saw. 28 seconds when he started.
Wow. Impressive.
Yeah.
I didn't even think he was going to remount. I really did.
No, I
So was
didn't
like,
either.
Yeah.
Ricky
I
didn't think
think-
so either.
Yeah.
Ricky kept questioning if he hurt his wrist and one thing after another. Yeah, that to me, I love to see Eli win, but I really like to see him coming from the back.
Oh,
It's
wow.
just that's what motocross is. I just love seeing somebody charge through the pack and work their way through it, and you know, and with Freezy, really, that's the one I was watching it. That's the guy that held him up the most naturally.
Yeah. Imagine that.
And again, it goes to what you were talking about. You deal with everybody different, and
Yeah.
Eli's smart enough to be like, all right, got this idiot. Well, I don't know why he's still here. I don't know what he's thinking, but that's what I'd be thinking. And it's got to make a good, clean way and run away from him. And once he got around him, then he started moving up again. So,
Yeah.
Where did they race this weekend?
Seattle.
Oh, Seattle.
be a fun one.
It could happen. I don't know what to think about Seattle, honestly.
Or because of the season, you don't know what's going to happen.
It could be a mud race.
Right? Is
that now? Is it a covered or uncovered stadium? Seattle.
Uncovered. Somebody was talking about it that they moved Seattle from some time to some other time, and now it's earlier, and it's the likelihood of rain is much higher than even it used to be.
Oh boy.
Plessinger maybe.
That's true. That could be a lot of fun.
The weird thing is Kenny's really good in the mud too. So
man,
Kenny's good on everything, man.
Going back to Kenny, that's a guy you got to give props to. It's like he showed how good he can be, and
he's incredible.
Walked away from Hunter. I mean,
yeah,
he legitimately walked away from Hunter, and it's like, man, I wish he could be that guy every time he shows up. I mean, he always is for a while, but he did it from start to finish.
It occurred to me a couple of things is that, because it was Hunter and wasn't Webb right behind him.
Yep.
And I just thought, oh, you got the two toughest late race guys in the series right behind you. And I almost felt bad for him. It's like, this is going to be tough if you get shuffled back to third. How many times has Webb done that to him? And Hunter's just been doing it to everybody.
Right.
And then he just flat pulled away.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just faster.
Yep.
And I think he got out to like 4 seconds, and then it kind of settled in there. And then I was thinking, geez, maybe he could have went to 10, but he's comfy now. I don't know, but it was neat. It was awesome.
Hey, Brett, after that race, did you go out and hug your Suzuki? I know you can do it.
Yeah, it's kind of cool when you think about bikes that old still being able to be that competitive. But again, it just comes down to so many years of being able to figure out what makes them tick. That's why they're so competitive still, just because had so many years to figure out how to make a perfect recipe.
Yeah.
I still contend right now, maybe it is the best bike because it's the only, the Ducati and the Suzuki are the only purpose-built frames on the track.
Right.
Everything else is a shared frame, and you can't tell me that's not a compromise.
You know it is.
Yeah,
absolutely is. Hands down. Yeah, that's one thing I'll say about the Suzukis is wherever you want to put them, you can.
They'll go.
Yeah, if it's in your mind, you can put them there. It's pretty, and they don't feel. They're very knifey, but they don't feel unstable. I mean, they're just like really, really sure-footed. That's for sure.
And the thing, and in fact, when I broke my wrist in the sandbox, it was on a Suzuki, and part of the reason is because I decided I was going to pass a guy on the inside. It was a double section, and it was a tough inside, but that Suzuki could pull so hard off the bottom, like that in terms of like accelerating right out of a corner, like short corner, corner right into a face. Like that's the best motor I've ever had.
Which year? What year was that? Was that one of the?
It was a 4-speed. It was a '06.
That was. I was thinking that's what you'd had one of those. Those
Mm-hmm.
those that on one hand those were a fun bike, and then on the other hand, I marked them down as the worst motorcycle I ever owned. Just because you never had the right gear.
Yeah,
I don't care.
that transmission.
was, it was so bad. It just that bike showed how great Ricky was at the time.
Right, yeah, it did.
Because I had one of those at a Carmichael replica, and I mean, it just never. I don't care where you were at with that 4 years. It just wasn't. Never had the right.
I agree. It was just too big.
Too big
I
gaps.
think the idea seems good. Like you're not going to use first, so get rid of it.
Right.
But that's never. And Yamaha did the same thing.
Right.
They had that 4-speed. They don't do that. They don't just get rid of first. Then they're like, oh, well, we're going to nudge second down a little bit. Then we're going to stretch third. And then it's like you say, you're never, second and third were never right.
No.
You know, and it just, that's why I got rid of it.
Right. Yep.
That and hospital bills. You know? But it wasn't the bike's fault. It was mine.
Right. Yeah, there's some people that still ride them and do pretty good on them, but it just, just kind of didn't never feel right to me. Then I got a Yamaha steel or a aluminum frame 250, and that was going back gone from the 2-stroke to the 4-stroke, went back to the 2-stroke, and I was like, no, I got to go back to a 4-stroke.
We all had to do that a couple times, I think.
Be sure you made the right decision, right?
Well, you go to one place. I remember when I decided I didn't want my 02 250, which was one of Honda, which was one of the greatest bikes I ever had. Is we had some really sand rollers that would just keep getting deeper and deeper throughout the day. And this was at Sioux Valley, and there was a guy there with a 450 Honda, and it just was gobbling those things up. And I'm like, I gotta get one of those.
Yeah.
But then I rode that a while, and then I went back. I bought a cow 250 after that, and 2-stroke, and back and forth, you know.
So it makes the sport fun.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on the race by anybody, or are we done on that?
I think I'm done on that, man. There's really not a whole lot to discuss, is there?
I don't know what else you say.
Yeah.